I needed to capture this because I saw a video where I was talking about it. That's the blanket. And that's what I'm talking about. He tried to drag it into my room last night. Now, I've been out already, but that's the way it was this morning when it got stuck. Hey, gang, welcome to my life, where anything is possible and nothing is as it seems. I'm Freedom, and I'll be your host, coming at you from within the depths of Geistopia. Welcome to my life as a project, an experiment in life and art, a living storyboard, if you will. Its premise is that life is experiential and that you can and do experience the life you choose. Tricky. Welcome to my life. I'd like to give a shout out to a plethora of people for their ongoing and oft times unknowing inspiration and support. If you want the list, go to the blog. It is Wednesday, July 23rd, 2020 Jive. Time floating. Because currently that is where my life is at. I'm just kind of floating now. We're still planning and pushing and pursuing the pack up and the move out because gotta. But now we have planted that one little seed just in case, and we'll see what happens. Like I said, he didn't seem real keen on it. Like, I think if it were up to him, yes. And it should be up to him. He owns that. Again, there are reasons I'm single. I can't do a relationship very well because if I were him, my approach to everything would be very different. Especially at this point. Especially with the offer that I made. Because they can't lose. All their expenses of home ownership would be covered. They'd have, and they'd be profiting money. Like, yeah, it's not the big win they want. We'll see how that turns out. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time sitting and thinking about it. So far, everything is right on track with all of the other projections and whispers and visions. And as I told Brother John, it could be wrong, but in all honesty, I cannot think of a single time the whispers, the visions have been wrong. I've been wrong many times. Those, I can't think of once in 26 years. So my life is floating because we have to stay the course we're on, but there is a sliver of a chance. And I don't know if I said it on video. If I did, I haven't heard it in my editing. When I set out pursuing a mortgage option, I was like, there is like a 0.000000000000001% chance that I could make that work, that I could pull that off at this time. That was enough of a chance to take. And I pursued it as far as I thought it could go. I find myself, especially this morning after finding the blanket again, I find myself praying that we stay for the cat's sake. Because he's the one thing I can't take care of. Like, Cuddlebug knows what's going on. She's made her adjustments. She knows the life she's gonna live, and she's okay. I know where I'm going and how things are gonna be, and I'm okay. This poor cat, you can't explain it to him and have him understand what's happening. And all of a sudden, one day, he's gonna go from this life that he absolutely loves. My sister had cats most of our lives. I've never seen a cat like this one. He's always happy and always running around and playful and up your butt. And like, I got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and when I came back, I saw that he was sleeping on the foot of my bed, like at the very bottom. He used to come in and lay with me every night. He stopped doing that, and on occasionally I will find him in the bed in the middle of the night, but when I wake up in the morning, he's gone. This morning he was still there. And I find it funny because like he knows, like he's so into this life here. He knows the difference between me getting up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and me sitting up in the morning to start my day, because he didn't budge when I went to the bathroom. But when I sat up at 5 o'clock, he was, I'm not even sure I sat completely up yet. The first time I made a move, he was meowing. And by the time I sat up, he was standing right next to me because he was ready, because wet food comes in the morning. And he comes in the spirit room with me while I do my devotion, and then we go and get him his wet food. And that's what kind of triggered me, like, dude is so happy and so into this life. And for him, I am such a very large part of it. And all that will change. I almost want to cry. Poor kitty is gonna, over a fucking cat. Damn stroke brain. I've always been sensitive, not this fucking sensitive. In regards to that, while I'm thinking, because everybody's blowing up my Facebook with suggestions and ideas and advice and help, and I appreciate that. I do. But even Brother John last night, well, maybe you can find like a room to rent or share a room with somebody, or like a small studio. Yeah, I'm sure I can. Listen to me. I started June with pretty much nothing. So I started at zero for all intents and purposes. And I have been building back since June. The projection was that I would be where I wanted to be by the end of August. That is right on track, which means there's no extra money. So now the landlord said he didn't expect me to pay in August if I'm leaving. Okay, good, because I'm gonna need that money. I have to take the money for the storage unit out of the disability payment, and the disability payment pays the rent, most of it. And I have no extra funds. So when disability comes, like that day, I'm going to rent the storage unit, because that will be somewhere between August 2nd and August 4th, which leaves me 2 weeks to be ready for the big heavy move. So